Hello, friends. It is 3 Day Diet Challenge time. Yay! Naturally, I'm excited. Uh, I've done the 3 Day Diet Challenge several times. This is the first time I've ever got to do any videos for the 3 Day Diet. So this is super exciting for me to get to do. Um, we'll chat a bit while we're waiting for people to come in. Hello, Tammy Joy. How is my friend? Um, I'm just excited. I can't wait. If you've never done the 3 Day Diet, whatever questions you've got, just throw them in the comments. I'll be watching. Sarah and Terry will also be watching. And we want to make this the best, most exciting time for you and make it easy for you. And remember, there's no right, no wrong. We're just going to all give it our best shot. And the main thing I want to do is have fun doing it. Like I said, I've done the 3 Day Diet Challenge. Hello, April. Are you doing the diet challenge with us? I hope so. I hope everybody can get in on it that wants to. You've still got time to register if you're not a part of it yet. We are starting the prep this weekend and the shopping time. My word, oh, I hate it when that happens. Maybe I could talk crazy I closed everything out because I wanted the video to be really good. And I'm actually seeing the comments with my laptop, so that is a good thing. I'm proud you guys can't see my work area. I've got papers from here all the way around. I've been playing in my papers. My t-shirt, some of you guys like to read whatever t-shirt I've got on. Coffee and chill. Well, I do often have decaf coffee of an evening, but yeah, oh good. I'm synced. Excellent. Above all else, I want to be synced, and I don't know why my dogs are barking. If this is your first time watching a video, hello from Colorado. Hi, Wanda. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'll introduce who I am. I am Lynette Whiteside. I live in a little spot in the mountains of North Arkansas called Snowball, Arkansas, and I serve as the community care coordinator for the Holy Mess. I used to weigh 488 pounds, and through God's divine grace and miracles and favor, I succeeded in losing my weight with Weight Watchers. And I can make this a very long story, and I'm going to try not to. I didn't know what to do when I got to maintenance. I was very ill prepared on how to maintain a weight loss, and thankfully the Holy Mess has provided me all the tools I need to maintain and to enjoy life and enjoy food. So if this is your first time doing the 3 Day Diet, please let us know. And if you're doing the plant-based diet, I'll be following the plant-based plan along with you. And Sarah and Terry will be doing the regular 3 Day Diet plan. Sarah is our founder and leader here at the Holy Mess, and she has lost, and this is huge, maintained over 100-pound weight loss for over 20 years. So yay for Sarah. Terry is our projects manager, and your first time fully doing it. We're going to get you through. Pat's first time. Awesome. Awesome. Every one of us has had a first time doing the 3 Day Diet. Kathy's plant-based. Yay, I'll have a buddy. I like having a buddy. We want everybody to have somebody that they can buddy up with. Terry Hanley is our projects manager, and she has lost and maintained an over 60-pound weight loss. So you're amongst the biggest bunch of successful losers you'll ever be among. And our group, all of our groups are absolutely the most supportive and fantastic bunch of people I have ever had the pleasure to be a part of. I've formed some very good friends through this group, And everyone is, hey, Kay, I'm proud you made it. Kay is new to our group. Welcome. Uh, you just, anytime you make a post, I'm I'm gonna do some swapping, Debbie, so me and you may have to buddy up some. Anytime you make a post in the group and say, hey, I don't know what to do, guarantee you within minutes somebody will jump in there and say, hey, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. So very supportive and absolutely zero criticism here. Very kind, loving bunch. So if you're new to this group, we welcome you. If you're new to doing the 3-day diet challenge, you're going to love it. And while everybody else is jumping in here, I know we're going to have a bunch on here tonight. Same, Carla. Never a negative comment, ever once. By the way, I don't have coffee, even though my shirt says coffee and chill. I usually do. I went for some peppermint tea. I've over coffeed probably today, but only decaf in the evenings. So many things to talk about, so many questions to answer. One of the first things I want to tell you is when I went bananas in the kitchen. Was that just last week? Yeah, just last week. One of the things I wanted to try was making the banana souffle, which is one of your snacks as a part of the traditional 3-day diet. And what I wanted to do was to see how well it froze. Now, this is a half serving. I broke mine down into half servings. And this is a half serving, which will be 1 egg, 1 banana. And I baked it in the oven. I had my oven full of, I had like a bunch of bananas to get rid of. So I baked it in the oven, put it in the freezer that day. So let's check it out. Breaks good. Tore apart good. I'll hold this up. Can you see the texture? Very much bread-like. And I just take a little nibble. Not at all rubbery. That was one of the things some of us had talked about. Would it turn rubbery? So, if you want to pre-prep the banana souffle, it will definitely keep in the refrigerator or freezer a few days. Oh, me too, Kathy. I learned so much. It will definitely keep in the refrigerator. And this has been froze over a week. Now, it's not the microwave prep. I didn't try that. This was regularly baked, so I don't know if that'll make a difference. Oh, it is super sweet, and I have quite the little sweet tooth. I often serve mine with a drizzle of sugar-free pancake syrup over it, so it's really, really good. Wanda says she's done the 3-day diet a few times. It's always been helpful. Always helpful. And sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but I kind of get in a food slump. It's like I've just been eating the same stuff over and over and over again. And this is a good way to break it up. I like to do the 3-day diet after the first of the year, like now, to get off to a good start for the year. It's a great, we talk about here at the Holy Mess, having a back on track plan for when you have totally derailed and run your wagon to the bottom of the holler and set it on fire. The 3-day diet is a good reset. How did I bake it? It was on about 370, and I had a little ceramic, little mini casserole dish. I baked it until it was set. I do the jiggle test, kind of shake my pan and let it cool good before I put it in a bag. Now, I will say this, generally when I freeze things, I put them in a smaller bag and into a gallon bag. So this was, you might say, double bagged in my freezer. But it turned out wonderful. Really good. Tastes just like the one that I ate fresh. All right. Let's get started with some questions. Strawberry sugar-free syrup. Yum. I have used Walden Farms. I can't get much strawberry out of it. Oh, Sister Linda, I don't time things. I just did the jiggle test and the pokey test. I'm an old-time cook. When I get in the kitchen, I just do things old school. Let's get into some questions. There's so many. Speaking of coffee, one of the most frequent asked questions is, can I have cream in my coffee? I'm not going to tell you you can't, but it is not a part of the plan to have cream in. Oh, Julia, you're fine, girl. We're just chatting until we get started. It is not on the plan to have cream in your coffee. Now, I most generally drink my coffee black of a morning, but when I get that little, I need something sweet, I do sometimes use sugar-free creamer, and I always set my cup on the scale and measure it out, weigh it out, and I use the skinny syrups to sweeten it up. So I will be not putting creamer in my dessert coffees. So I'll be right there with you. Those of you that cream your coffee, I'll be there with you. Now, I suppose you could add a splash of almond milk if you just absolutely positively have to have something, but the plan does call for black coffee. It's 3 days. Not only can we do hard things, but together we can do really hard things. And sometimes adjusting how we like our coffee is a very hard thing, but we can do it. The first time this diet was done in a pilot test group, there were 130 women participated, and now, since the beginning, yes, candy coffee, absolutely. Since Sarah started the 3-day diet plan, there has been over 40,000 people, and right now we have, I've not found any 0-point creamers, unfortunately. Some are a wee bit healthier than others. I tend to think nut pods are a little healthier and a little lower calorie, but I've not found any 0-point creamers, other than maybe just a tiny splash of almond milk wouldn't have points for us. This time in the challenge we have over 1,700 people participating. So when we get those mully grubs and think, I'm in this all by myself, I get pity parties sometimes. Nobody's having to do this but me. There are over 1,700 of us doing this together. So you've got a lot of company. We are not alone. Most people typically lose 2 to 6 pounds during this 3-day diet. You use nut pods? I love nut pods. It's been featured twice in Woman's World magazine, even the plant-based version. So we're going to go through some of these frequently asked questions. We're going to talk about how to make it easier for you. And I'll be back on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, a little bit different time. I'll be back then, and I'm going to show you what I have got prepped to prep for the day of cooking. Sunday will be our cooking day. Some of us will be shopping on Friday. I'll be shopping on Saturday, and I am known to pop in and out on those days out. I got to get my nails redone. One thing I learned in my weight loss journey is to take care of me. And taking care of me means doing little things that make me feel good. So Saturday, I'll go get my nails done and head off to get groceries. And I'll bounce in a few times during the day, and then we'll have our big video that evening. Can you alternate the foods on different days? Absolutely you can. You don't have to eat all of the food, but don't let yourself get to a hungry state. I know if I put off eating and get like really, I am a bargain shopper. I am frugal to a fault. See, if I'm frugal, I can keep getting my nails done because I save so much money everywhere else. So it pays for my nails, right? I am a bargain shopper. I like to be frugal in my purchases. I was raised up that you don't waste stuff, so I don't like to see food go to waste. And that's one thing we want to offer you is tips on what to do with all this food. Because you're going to have some large batches, and the freezer is your friend. Absolutely your friend. So just some helpful tips for cooking. If you normally use an oil or a butter, clean plate club. Me too, Kathy. Me too, my friend. And to this day, I still clean my plate, but I don't get seconds anymore. I have never tried cinnamon in my coffee. That's a good, I have to think about that. In my tea, I have chai tea, skinny syrup, the Jordan skinny syrup. I've got that in here now. Your freezer's full. That's a good thing. I like to have a full freezer and a full pantry. That's definitely a good thing. So if you normally cook with a smear of oil or a bunch of oil, try to switch out into some cooking spray. That's a good alternative choice. One thing that I have learned talking about being frugal, and I was just thinking of this, Aldi's sale list comes out on Wednesdays. And I was naturally checking the sale to see what I would be able to get at Aldi for a little cheaper. And I thought, I buy so much fresh whole foods, and yes, it can be costly, but what am I not buying? Because a lot of their sale items this time was like cheese puffs and crackers and cookies, and I may be buying a lot of fresh or frozen. I like frozen produce and fruit too, and canned, but I'm not buying junk. I rarely eat out, mainly because I have a beef allergy, and I'm always afraid of getting a contaminant. So I don't eat out a lot, which also saves money that can go back into my food budget. I learned that taking care of me meant that it's okay to buy foods that only I will eat. That is very okay. And on that note, that's another question we get asked a lot here at the Holy Mess is, my family won't do this with me. Guess what? Mine won't either. I've asked them, and they're just like, I think what they hear is the D word. And if you're new to one of my videos, the D word is diet. I don't like to use the word diet about everyday eating. Now for the 3-day diet, it's okay because this isn't everyday eating, but I will not say I'm on a diet. I am on a plan that I intend to live by the rest of my life. So I think what my bunch hears is diet and go, not us, no, we're out. But tonight, I had some ground chicken, and I sauteed that in an onion in a pan with some Pam. I can be, can't I, April? I haven't issued tickets yet, I don't think. I may give you a snide look and say, but I sauteed onion, ground chicken. I had some kale that I needed to use up, so I threw a big wad of kale in after I got it cooked that down. And I had some stewed potatoes in the refrigerator that also were needing used. So I made like a hash bowl, you might say, with ground chicken, onion, mushrooms, put mushrooms in it, kale, and stirred in about half a cup of cold mashed potatoes, which the dish was hot, so it cooled off, seasoned it up, perfection. So I get in the kitchen, and I don't have a recipe, but I have this, and I have this, and I have this. So what can I do with that? And you may find yourself doing that some with the 3-day diet, with your leftovers. Do not be afraid to experiment, and by all means, share when it's good. We want to know those recipes. Absolutely not. Okay, so for shopping economically, that's one of the most important things I think that we all are watching these days. Groceries everything's expensive, not just groceries, everything is expensive. So what I would advise you to do, it just makes it easier, if you have any way in the world of making an extra copy, and this is just how I do it, making an extra copy of your grocery list to write on. It's what I've worked on this afternoon. I've been walking around, and you can see mine has circles and lines. My circles are, okay, I need to get this. My X's and lines is I've got this, or I have this. For instance, At Aldi, which is where I do the most of my shopping, you can only buy a bag of lemons. I kind of go like on a lemon phase and then I'm off for a while. I have a lime left that needs used, so I crossed the lime off and I'm going to substitute lemon. Perfect swap. It's a like item, and that is the swaps that we can do. In the Tropical Blast oatmeal, I don't care for peaches that much. So I'm going to do probably extra pineapple and some pears. I'll do another fruit that's very similar. Oh, wow, honey. Yeah, that sounds about right. I refuse to buy eggs in my local town until I get to Aldi where they're a little cheaper. They're like $7 a dozen. And the other day I was in there and an 18 pack was $10.98, and I said I am not going to do that. I'll just do without until I get to Aldi in a couple of days. Wow, that's crazy. So from all of this markup, I look in my pantry, I look at the canned stuff I have, I think about what I have in the freezer, and because this is also a weekly shopping trip for me, where I do a restock, hi Rita, where I do a restock, I have tucked my markups, my cross-offs, and everything, and made it into a list that probably no one can interpret but me. At Walmart, my intention, because I'm doing the plant-based, is to get the carrot chips and tofu at Walmart. Now the carrot chips are those that are pre-sliced in a crinkle cut in the fresh produce section. I've got baby carrots already in the refrigerator. That's an item on the list. And it also calls for 2 to 3 carrots that would equal a cup chopped. So I'm combining carrots to make a cup chopped and baby carrots into carrot chips, buying one kind of carrot instead of 2 kinds of carrots. You can do that either way. You can either buy the baby carrots or the chips. Yes, absolutely, Sarah. Absolutely. Yes, always shop your pantry first and your freezer, whatever you've got. On my list, it says 2 large apples. We have just finished a 25-pound box of apples. I've got like 3 left. So apples was on my list anyway. That's not an additional purchase. I always buy berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, whatever berries is on sale. I eat a lot. This is not a whole lot different than how I eat normally anyway. So what I've done, after I went through all of the foods and made the list of what I needed to get and what I needed to get for the week ahead, because 3 days does come to an end, what I've come up with that I am buying extra that I wouldn't be buying anyway, I put an asterisk by. I don't normally have tofu. I don't mind eating it. I just don't have any. So I will be buying tofu. That will be something different. The carrot chips will be something different. We usually keep baby carrots on hand, but I want the carrot chips this time. I always stock frozen veggies, so that's not extra. I have 1 jar of salsa on hand, so I will be buying salsa, not because I need it for this challenge, but so I have that extra jar in the pantry, so I'm more of a replacement. I don't normally buy hearts of romaine lettuce. I will be buying that this time. I usually get a salad blend, so that almost really doesn't count as something extra. Celery and zucchini, I did not have those on my list this time, so that's an extra item for me. Green peppers, I buy them often, so that I will count that as an extra item. Crushed pineapple, and somehow I have let myself run out of chickpeas and black beans and green beans. I have 1 can of green beans. So that's on my list, kind of as a normal, oh Suzanne, you're a good girl, kind of as a normal restock. And I'm out of garlic powder. No, I'm not out of garlic powder, but we use a lot of garlic powder. And I need yogurt for the upcoming week ahead. So I'm not having to purchase that much extra after I went through and shopped what I already had. Like riced cauliflower, frozen riced cauliflower, that's something I keep on hand. And stir-fry veggies, I'm going to pick up some because I don't want to go without. So a lot of what I'm getting is pretty typical to what I normally have. I just don't want to use all I have. It's more of a replenish type thing. For the traditional, I've got both diet plans up here. For the traditional 3-day plan, and I do, hey Dee, I do keep mine in page protectors because I'm messy when I get in the kitchen sometimes, and I can just wipe this right off. For the 3-day diet plan, your first breakfast will be 3 eggs with salsa. Your lunch will be the turkey chili, which is so good. I love the turkey chili. The vegetarian, plant-based, you eat like that mostly too. That's good. It's not that much different than normal for me. The Holy Mess vegetarian version of chili, very good as well. I've had them both. I moved my plant-based into the green folder because I was thinking green plants, red meat. Now I'll probably mix them up all night long. You love the chili. I love the chili too. And you get 2 cups of it. That's great. Okay, dinner on the first day. This is a good example of a swap. The choices you have are tilapia, salmon, or shrimp in a 6-ounce serving. A lot of people don't like seafood. Some people can't eat seafood. I can't eat beef. So when you're going down through here and you see something like that and say, I don't like any of that. I don't like salmon, I don't like shrimp, and I don't like tilapia. First of all, you can substitute any lean protein in that place. So if you would rather have chicken, that's fine. That's a like item. Any item that's like what you've got, you can make the swap on. Down here on the snack for day 1, we see that you can have 2 cups of watermelon, cantaloupe, or 2 cups of your fruit of choice. Now, this time of year is not the traditional melon and watermelon cantaloupe season. So if you find them in the store, the price may be up there. So if you find them, or if you're afraid to take it and hope it's okay, substitute something else. Do you like pineapple, apples, oranges? What do you like? And substitute a like amount. So if you don't like it, by all means, do not eat something you don't like. We're a big believer of that around here. Your snack, other snack, is the Holy Mess veggie soup. Freezes wonderfully. The chili also freezes wonderfully. And if you've not already shopped, and if you're shopping just for yourself or maybe 2 people, you can cut the quantities in half on the recipe and make a smaller batch so you have less to consume later. For day 2 on the traditional plan, we find that you have yogurt and mixed berries. Lunch, okay, here comes tuna. Tuna's kind of a love-hate relationship. A tuna salad. If you're one of those that don't care for tuna or can't eat fish, canned chicken, excellent substitute. Also that day, 2 cups of celery and carrot sticks and a large pear. I like pears, but I usually have to have a good notice to get them where they're ripe enough that I really like them. And I won't be purchasing a pear because I had rather replenish my apple supply. So that's a swap. Swap in an apple, swap in an orange. If you normally keep apples and oranges in your home, by all means, that's a penny saver and it still keeps you on plan. That evening, we find ourselves with grilled chicken. So what if you just substituted grilled chicken up here for the fish? Do you want chicken 2 nights in a row? I can eat the same thing for days. But if you don't want chicken, substitute a light, lean protein in there. Down here for the snack, we have mango, pineapple, oranges, or kiwi. I love kiwi. I'm with you, Kathy. The squishier, the better. For day 3 on the traditional plan, we have a 3-egg omelet with 1.5 cups of onion, mushroom, and spinach. Oh, let's pick one out you don't like. Personally, I like them all. Let's say you just can't abide onion, or you're allergic, or onion doesn't like you. You don't have to put it in there. Swap in something else. Do you like red peppers? What other vegetable could you put in there? And be creative. The taco bowl is delicious. You will absolutely love it. And, you know, sometimes life doesn't go as planned. And say you get to the 3rd day, and dinner that night is 2 slices of oven roasted turkey breast, and you say, I went to the store, turkey's high, not getting it. That is absolutely fine. Remember, you can also come back and plug in chili, one of your extra meals, or you can come down here and get a lean cut of pork. The salsa chicken is phenomenal. I would definitely recommend trying that. So you can get a different meat. Steamed broccoli, carrots, cauliflower mix. We call that the California blend. And a large ear of corn on the cob. We have corn in the freezer from gardening, but if you don't want to buy a bag of corn, or you don't want to buy a single ear of corn, canned corn is perfectly fine to substitute. The banana souffle was the dish I started out showing you that can be prepped ahead and can make an excellent snack as well. And you've got your veggie soup. One thing, I don't get hungry doing this because there is a lot of food. But if you find yourself hungry, and this is real important, if you find yourself hungry right now, if you've not grocery shopped already, or if you can shop your pantry, make a plan for what will I do if I get hungry. I don't know about y'all, but some days, I'm country. Guys, I am country as cornbread. I'll say I could eat the horns off a billy goat. And that just means, that's another Lynetteism, Terry. I can eat the horns off a billy goat. If it's really bad, I can eat the brass horns off of a billy goat. If you find yourself getting hungry, have a plan in place. What am I going to do? Well, you have your soup. We have our fruit. What else can you do? One thing that I found just in general, when I get hungry, got to lick my finger to turn the page here, is, am I hydrated? Have I drank enough? A lot of times you get busy. Any horns from a billy goat don't sound, I bet they don't have points. Staying hydrated is very important. Drink your water, herbal tea. I'll take another drink. Thirst is often mistaken for hunger. This week, from the Weight Watchers group with the Holy Mass, one of our challenges on there is to see if you can bump up your hydration. And I have really been working on that this week, and I don't think I've been, as you say that in South Carolina, I could so live out in South Carolina, Jenny. There you go. Me too, Patricia. Me too, because I had rather have tea. This is herbal tea, so I can count. I'd rather have coffee. I'd rather have a Diet Coke. One thing I've been doing, I take medication twice a day. Of a morning, when I take my morning medicine, I can take it with a sip of water, but I've been taking it with a full 8 ounces of water, because that gets 1 cup off. Same thing at night, and then I get exercise getting up at night running to Tinkle. But when I take my nighttime medicine, again, another whole cup of water. So that helps me take care of 16 ounces right there. Another rule I have for myself is until I complete a bottle of water, now this is after being after coffeeing, until I complete a bottle of water, I cannot have a Diet Coke. I cannot have a fruity, foofy water. I have to finish a bottle of water. Then from that, I can move on, and like the afternoon, a Diet Coke, it's a treat that I feel like I've worked toward. And I can say, well, I've already had a bottle and a half of water, so if I want this Diet Coke, I can work it in. That's one little trick I do. A lot of people set water by their coffee pot. If you go back and get another cup, get a swig. Your mama always said tinkle. Another thing we can do, which I tend to sometimes not do, is busy ourselves. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this old saying out right. Let's see. Idle hands are the devil's playground. I think that's the old saying. Well, idle hands for me can turn into boop, boop, boop. So, stay busy. Keep your mind busy. Keep your body busy. If you have certain times of the day, my special time of the day is before bed. That's when I like to have that little extra nibbly. Make a plan now for what are you going to do to deal with that. Are you going to save a snack for that nibbly? Or maybe it's in the mid-afternoon that you get the nibbles. Save your snack for then. That'd be a great time to go take a walk. Getting plenty of protein and fiber-rich foods helps us stay full longer. Paint your nails, knit, crochet. Very good. You have well water, not very tasty. There you go. We are on, believe it or not, in Snowball, Arkansas, we have city water, but we don't drink it because it's not the most palatable water God ever put on the face of the earth. So it's, I usually have like Great Value water. I've got Sam's water now. So it's easier for me to measure by bottles. Of course, they make all kinds of containers now to measure your water. If you're craving something not on the plan, let's say you're going to pull out the plant-based this time. Let's say you're hungry. It's not on the plan. You've already had your breakfast. You've already had your lunch. Yeah, town water's not so good. We used to have spring water in town. It's not so good now. You've already had your breakfast. You've already had your lunch. You're getting that afternoon slump, and you see that your snack is 2 cups of baby carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And you're like, well, that didn't do much for me. What can you do to address your hunger so you're not, I always say, sliding in at supper time starved to death? So it's okay to say, I'm hungry. Or it's okay to say, I'm having a craving. And think about, what can I do as an alternative for that craving? Now, in Weight Watchers, they teach surf the urge, which is like we're talking about. Busy yourself. Hydrate yourself. If you're still hungry, go ahead and have a snack. I would recommend something that's already a part of your day. We have the soup to fall back on. So go back in there and pull out a healthy snack. It's better to have a healthy snack than it is to say, I don't know, have a sleeve of Oreos. Done that before. Pray. Amen. Absolutely. Relax. I found sometimes I get wound up and more wound up. Relax. Lay down, read a book, get some rest. That's okay too. Jump into your group. Come on here and tell us. Say, I'm going down the tubes. I am hungry. Go ahead and jump in the group and see what advice you get from the group. Besides, your hands will be busy for a few minutes. On food swaps, things that are like broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, kale, those are all in the same vegetable category. When measuring fruit, do you use a cup or a scale? Well, it kind of depends on the fruit. If it's an orange and it's this big around, it's a medium orange. Me too, Carla. If it's like that, I know it's a medium orange. I know it's a medium apple. That's fine. Now, if it is grapes, cherries, blueberries, things that I know I will eat more than a serving of, I do either weigh them out or measure them. I prefer to weigh them. That way when I enter them, I'm getting a precise measure. You know, I could seriously eat a bunch, literally a bunch of grapes. So grapes are one of my cautious foods, even though they're very healthy and 0 points. They're a food I have to proceed with caution. They're a food that every time I open the refrigerator, it's easy to grab 3 or 4 as I walk away. So they're a food that I have to have my little antennas up about. For those of you following the regular plan, cheese. Try a non-dairy option. The plant-based will be using nutritional yeast in place of a cheese. For milk, if you can't drink milk, try almond milk, soy or oat milk. Condiments, you notice there's no condiments. This is a very whole food plan, and there's not any condiments. Now, of course, one of my kids just got here. Of course, you can use spices, garlic, salt, pepper, whatever your preferred spices is. By all means, you can use those. I would not necessarily not drink diet soda, but make sure you've been hydrated well. Girls, hush. Nutritional yeast is a lot of vegan diets, vegetarian diets, use vegan yeast as sort of a cheese replacer. It often lends like a nutty flavor. From Arkansas to California, we've set dogs off of barking. That's too funny. Oh, my girls. If y'all know my girls, you know my girls.
Not one of them knows what they're barking about.
My husband just went through and he said ain't one of them knows what they're even barking at. Okay. When we get toward the end of our challenge, of course, you're going to take a weight when you start, a starting weight the morning of, and an ending weight the morning of day 4. And think about, Lynette said that people often lose 2 to 6 pounds. I lost half a pound. Look at where you're at in your journey. I am at maintenance. There are other people at maintenance. There are people very, very close to being to their goal weight. Those last few pounds are like cement. They don't want to leave. If you are new in your journey, you may lose toward the high. If they find them, Leanna, they won't want them. If you're toward the higher end of your weight range and you're new on your journey, you may lose more. So when you're coming in and looking at comments and somebody says, I lost 10 pounds, first of all, yay, that's great. But if you come in and you lost half a pound, you know what? Yay, that's great too, because I definitely rather lose a half a pound as gain a half a pound. Get creative in the kitchen when you're cooking. Throw those spices in there. Feel free to make swaps for foods that you absolutely don't care for or foods that you can't eat. Make your plan for managing cravings. Prefer if you do black coffee. That's a question we're asked a lot. If you've got somebody, a buddy, I know Elora and her friend Kayla, they live in the same town and they're buddying up. That is wonderful. If you want a buddy on here, jump on the group and say, hey, will somebody be my buddy? I need a buddy. Somebody will say, I need a buddy too. Buddying up with somebody is great. I'm going to be buddies with all of y'all because, like I said, nobody in my house has volunteered or been, even when I voluntold them, they didn't participate. So it's okay. That is just fine. I'm a big girl and I can do hard things. Whenever you get your groceries in, think about the dishes you're going to make with them, and we'll talk more about this on Saturday. It is good on popcorn, absolutely. I've got a recipe with cottage cheese and nutritional yeast and taco seasoning that makes the best taco dip ever was. It's a 6-ounce after cooking in this plan. We want everybody to have plenty of protein. Protein does keep us full. You'll be by yourself on it too, Sandy. Well, that's okay because we're in it together. Absolutely. So if anybody's got any questions, absolutely ask them. The plant-based plan, I already know a couple of swaps that I'm going to be making. I told you for the Tropical Blast oatmeal, I won't be using peaches. I've got some little individually packaged I will, Carla. I'll get that recipe posted. Individually packaged canned pears that I probably will use on that. Believe it or not, the vegetarian or the plant-based plan has banana and ice cream. That day I went bananas in the kitchen. I made an experiment of freezing the frozen like banana puree with a little bit of almond milk and a little peanut butter powder in a muffin tin. So I've got some frozen alternatives for the nice cream. I will certainly be eating the fajita, veggie, and black bean breakfast scramble. Yum. Chickpea and red onion salad. Absolutely love that. I love the snack. And this is something that we don't... Yeah, it's okay. And you know what? If you're doing the traditional plan and you want to jump over and grab a plant-based meal just to try it, absolutely. Feel free to make that swap. I'm picking on the fish, and I love fish. Say it's the fish day and you just don't feel fish. Feel free to jump over here and try one of the meal options from here. Same thing on the snack. I love the snack on day 2. I absolutely can't wait to eat it. It's a brown rice bowl with cinnamon and fruit. It will have half a cup of cooked brown rice with almond milk, half a cup of fruit of your choice, and a dash of cinnamon. Now this says heat it in the microwave and serve it warm. I will probably have overnight oats prepped in the fridge out of this. I like those. So kind of an overnight oat type of thing using the rice, the pre-cooked rice that I will already have cooked up. Who would think about having a baked potato, a baked sweet potato, for a snack with a mashed banana on top? Now I personally can just eat baked sweet potatoes. Yes, if you plan to swap, good point, Sarah, thank you. If you plan to make a meal swap, kind of have that planned before you do your grocery shopping so you're not bouncing, or I just read the comment, not having to go back and shop again. Absolutely, salsa. Yes, it's on my list of what to buy. The sweet berry oatmeal, I love that. The Mexican black bean and rice bowl is delicious with that. You get a cup of romaine lettuce, half a cup of diced tomato, and your dessert that day, a swap, is an apple. So that is absolutely a delicious one. If you notice, sometimes you reuse things, like the soup, you get to reuse that. Down here, snack on day 3, on the plant-based, we have the chickpea and red onion salad come into play. So be creative. Think about what you normally like, what you normally like to eat. Make a plan for managing those cravings. Stay hydrated, stay busy, and remember, every evening there will be a video. And that's really really helpful because we can get on here and say, hey, I need help. I need help. And somebody's going to help you. So Sarah, I will do Saturday night's video where I'll show what I have prepped and how I intend to use it in my meal plan. Sunday night, Sarah will be on here to get us kicked off to a great big start for Monday, and Sarah will be back on Monday. Tuesday, I'll be back on here instead of Tuesday Triumphs. I'll be back on here, and again, we're going to talk about this 3-day diet thing. Can you do the 3-day diet again right after this? I would advise maybe waiting a few days because it is it's very low carb. Well, it's healthy carbs. I'll say that. It's healthy carbs. But I would take a break. It's very low fat, practically no fat. It's practically 0 points. Sunday will be 7 p.m. Eastern. Oh, Carla, thank you, my friend. I love it. I love to talk, so I can sit here and talk all day very easily. Easy for me to do. So be watching videos. That helps us stay encouraged. Layla Kate. I'm still going to send Layla Kate to Carla one day. Since lean ground beef is 0, absolutely you can substitute. If you don't want to use ground turkey, yes, from after this video, all the videos will be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. But yes, you can substitute lean ground beef. That's also 0 points, so absolutely. And vice versa. If you don't do beef, you can substitute in turkey. So anything that's alike will swap for what is like that item. Let me pull up the traditional. There is, in the upsell bundle, we actually have a swap list. Let me get to my swap list. Well, I thought I would get to my swap list. I have to lick my finger again. It's at the back. Okay. There is a food swap list, and it's like items. There's Layla's ears. You can see what a huge big dog she is to be so mean. So on here, it's based off of the Weight Watchers 0 point foods. So if you have applesauce and don't have an apple, absolutely swap those out. If you like blackberries but you don't like blueberries, that's a like item. If you like Brussels sprouts and don't like cabbage, believe it or not, my husband will not eat cabbage, but he loves Brussels sprouts. That's a swap you can make. So any like item. And like I say, on fish, if you prefer catfish, go for catfish. If you prefer tilapia, go tilapia. If you prefer chicken, go chicken. That is a like item swap. It's kind of like being in the grocery store and looking at something, and especially, you know, we just came out of the holidays, and some things sell out, and you think, what can I substitute in place of that? So keep that in your mind. What can I substitute? The 3-day diet is a great way to kick off the year, and we are so excited to be doing it with you, not just for you, but with you. And over 1,700 people. That is absolutely phenomenal. So tomorrow, if you're grocery shopping tonight or in the morning before you go, sit down and make a plan. If you are not going to follow the foods, if you already think I'm swapping, be sure to adjust your shopping list. If you're going to swap in a plant-based meal for one of the traditional meals, or vice versa, you can go either direction. Adjust your list so that you don't have to make an extra trip back to the store. I'll almost do without before I'll make a trip into town. Be prepared to freeze leftovers or share with your neighbors. If you want to make half batches, that's fine. Half batches work too. Both the soup and the chili, the traditional chili, or the vegetarian version, both freeze great. So we're off. We're off to a good start. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see everybody's results, and I want you to do something just a little extra while you're on the 3-day diet. Pay attention to how you feel. These foods are anti-inflammatory, and they're whole foods, and it does take a while for the effect from eating whole foods to kick in, but just notice if you feel just a little different, not eating so much processed food or not eating out. I think you'll notice a difference. If there's anything we missed, by all means, post it on the page. Email us. We'll get your answer to you. There's nothing worse than having to feel your way along in the dark, not knowing what to do. And we don't want anybody to have to do that. So I'm going to hop off here tonight. And those of you that are part of the Holy Mess Bible Study, I will see you at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, you're fine.